The smoke from the Dixie Fire still hung thickly in the morning air as we left our campground at Child's Meadow and made our way north of the Lassen Peak area. Well, we finally escaped the smoke as we've moved on down the road. We're here at Burney Falls State Park. We thought this was going to be a quick stop and a quick hike to a waterfall, but it turns out that things aren't as easy for us because we have a trailer. So instead of being a 75-foot walk to overlook and look at the waterfall, we have to park over a mile away and hike back there. Also, they charged us double for the privilege of doing that. So just keep that in mind if you ever come here on a day stop with a trailer. It's not going to be a quick, easy stop to look at the waterfall. We're probably going to all hike up from the parking lot here to look at it, and then I'm going to go back and get the car and pick everyone up on the way out. Burney Falls is a famous landmark in Northern California. The magnificent waterfall stands over 129 feet high and 250 feet wide. The water comes from underground springs above the falls, which keeps the flow going even during the dry summer months, and the temperature of the water a frigid 42 degrees.
No, we did not give it a banana peel. Somebody else left it evidently.
Made it to Burney Falls. It is really spectacular, as you can see. It is all kinds of little ribbons coming down, and it's really cool down here too, like in lots, both ways. There's a nice mist and it's 90 degrees out, so that's pretty nice. And even though we had to walk an extra mile, it was worth it. It's still really pretty, so I'd still recommend it if you do have a trailer that you can come. It's something definitely to see. So we are sitting here waiting in the campground. We were going to stay tonight, and this is the second time this has happened to us on a long trip. We arrived here and somebody was in our sight, and they had some cockamamie story about how the camp host said since we didn't show up at check-in at 3 on the dot, they gave them the site and said they could stay there. And then they were going to trade us a site right next to the pit toilets
on a corner.
On a corner.
It's like behind us, but
that
anyways.
would barely fit us definitely not hooked up, and we wanted to stay hooked up because this is a one-night stop for us. So he made some story and tried to get me to switch, and like,
oh, but you were gonna go talk to the camp host.
I wanted to talk to the camp host to like see what was going on. He tried to he had some excuses of why that wasn't necessary and everything.
He said they were bad people or something.
Yeah. And I guess they're moving now. The camp hosts are having the
yeah, moves. They can't. So we talked to the camp host, and the camp host said, you said the camp host said that they never told him that he could have the site.
Yeah.
Like he claimed.
Yeah. I mean, I have the reservation right here.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're moving, but then it's like a little
puts us in an awkward position that we shouldn't have to be in. And
yeah, you don't really want to camp by somebody who's like angry with you. It's just not a good. Yeah, not a good place to be in.
We don't get a campsite with a lot of mosquitoes in it, I can see.
Well, we can't tell if there's mosquitoes yet, bud.
We finally got to have a little campfire for the first time this trip. They said on a sign that we were allowed to have one as long as it was in a certified fire pit. This wood out here is so dry, it like lit up right off the bat. It's crazy. Is it warm? We stayed the night at the Fowlers Campground along the McCloud River, and this is the middle falls of the McCloud River. This is just a short walk from our campground. There's a really nice swimming hole here if you're really brave. The water is ice cold, probably in the 40s at most. So not a lot of people in here right now. Kylie did jump in. She's pretty crazy. I'm not that crazy. But it is definitely really beautiful.
Look at how scary you slide down there.
Whoa! It would have been surface. Do you love to climb on rocks, Nolan? Yeah?
We're at Middle Falls.
The middle what?
Middle Falls.
Middle Falls. That's Middle Falls? What'd you say?
There's a big log bridge over there.
There's a big log bridge? Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that is crazy.
You like climbing on these. Look at... Nolan has been climbing on all these rocks and making me a nervous wreck. Woo!
Is it warm? We were all just down there a little bit ago, and now we're up here at the top of the cliff. I went back to the campground and picked up the camper, and we're gonna soon hit the road and move on. And this time we are gonna make it all the way to the coast and the Pacific Ocean. This campground is really beautiful. We had a little bit of a snafu with someone in our campsite when we first got here. Luckily, after we got that taken care of, we haven't had any problems since, and we had a fun time exploring a couple of waterfalls that are around here. So I guess we'll get back in the car and move on. Look out there, kids. Look at the dried up lake. California 299 between Redding and the Pacific coast, and this road is insanely curvy. On the map, it doesn't look like that long of a distance, but the road itself is probably triple in length what it would be if you went in a straight line. I mean, there's just, I don't know, hundreds if not 1,000 curves on this road. It's just endless. It's taken us hours just to go from Redding to the coast. We're ready to get to the coast and to our campground because it's really starting to wear me out driving on this road, towing the camper. I think we're close now to the coast, maybe 20, 30 miles at most. So hopefully it'll be over soon. We have made it to the Pacific Ocean!